So we're about to do an oil change on our 88 528E E28 chassis, the M20 engine. Very easy procedure. The oil plug right there, right on the very underside of it. You really don't need to jack this car up. You got a pretty decent ground clearance under here. You know, all you got to do, this is just one arm's length to get to it. The oil pan is very clear and obvious. And the oil filter is pretty easy to access. There it is. So, you know, it looks like it's easier to get to the oil filter from the top. So once you've got your pan, your oil pan, to catch the oil below, you can pull your filter. Whenever you do an oil change, you want the vehicle to have just been run, so nice and warmed up. I just had this out for about a 30-mile drive, so it's very warm, and so I came home, ate dinner. It's still plenty warm for what we're doing. It just makes the oil thinner so it runs easier. And you know, you want to make sure you got your oil pan under there. Of course, I'm just working outside, so I got my mats for crawling up under there. Pretty easy procedure. The viscosity of the oil that you use will depend on your climate and region. From what I have read, this engine prefers either 1540 or 2050. Both of those oil types are preferable in 1980s German cars in general, but this, from the BMW folks, this was the original. So if you're in really cold regions, you can go thinner than that, but 1540 is a good moderate in it. And since it's fall now, I'm going to go ahead with the 1540 and probably do a 2050 when it starts to get around to warmer time. Got the filter changed here. There's a couple options. My preference is this, basically, you know, just pliers wrench. It's adjustable, and what I like about it is, particularly like in a situation like this where it's at an angle under there and you really can't get this on there. This is probably my least favorite. You can also get ones that you use it with a socket system, but I really find this to be the best, and pretty consistent with using it, and it seems to be the best of the options. We've got our oil drained out. Left it sitting for a little while to, you know, get it good and drained out. And last thing I like to do, especially with a car like this that's older, that I don't know how you know, how often it was maintained and so forth. It seems maintained, but I mean, regardless, I'm going to wash some. I'm going to flush it a little bit with some of the Marble Mystery oil. Just let it run down through the engine and drip out into the pan. Just run, you know, a few ounces, but it is a nice little extra additional flush for your engine, get all the gunk out of it. And the M20 engine, which is what this has, the 2.7 liter, the M20 uses 4 quarts, and the M30 engine, the 3.5 liter, uses 5 quarts. Again, I'm going to be using 15W40. I'm in North Georgia, so it does get cold, but not seriously cold. If I were further north, I might use something lighter for the winter, and for summer months, I'll probably end up using 2050. These older German cars really like the higher viscosity oil. They thrive on it, and you can get some run problems if you're putting 530 in it, as some people do, which is just really not right. Very easy operation, and absolutely nothing, you know, difficult or weird about it. This is one of those things you can just quickly do in your front yard with just a few minutes, you know. Not a difficult operation, a definite easy win for do-it-yourselfer.